Hello fellow FJ Cruiser enthusiasts, my name is Dallas Sterling. I'm the inventor of this rear door latch mechanism that allows you to sleep in your truck and camp and exit through the rear door without having to climb over the seats. I wanted to go ahead and do a quick demo video and an installation video. There's been a couple new design changes that have hopefully are going to make this a little easier to install. I know some people had a little bit of difficulty getting the parts to snap in prior to this. I also want to thank the FJ Cruiser forums for just existing in general, and all the moderators for putting up with all the nonsense of me trying to get this thing out into the world. Let's get into it. Let's just go over real quickly the tools required and the parts from the kit. So this is a 10mm socket. I've got a long socket to get into this pocket, you'll see in a second here, and a 1/2-inch socket to tie down the handle if you're installing that. This is the port, and it's got some little snap fit ramp edges there you can see that are going to snap into your panel. This is the button. Looks like a little toilet seat. Got a hole in the rear for the rod, and the rod and link itself with the channels for the zip ties. And then we've got our handle assembly here, which consists of the plug, the carriage bolt, the ring. There's a plastic wedge inside of here, and then a washer and a nut, nylon nut, and the strap, of course, of your choosing. All right, you're gonna need to use your imagination just a little bit because this mod has already been done on this truck, obviously, so I'm kind of recreating the process. But in general, there's a port here, which I've already removed. You'll pop it out with a screwdriver. Port here, port here. I'm just gonna take my pocket knife and kind of pop that little bad boy off of there. You'll take that 10mm socket on both sides here and remove these screws. And then everything else is held in with clips. So set that aside. And this panel is ready to be popped out now. Oh, first things first though, we gotta open the window so that it'll release the plastic here. So take your key and pop this window open. Won't be needing that after you do the mod, which I highly recommend. The lock unlock model, link to it in the description there. So go ahead and get a good hold on the plastic panel and give it a pull. These will all pop out. This whole panel will lift off. Keep an eye on these little plastic things here that are on the corner. Don't lose those. Snap that back into place and set this bad boy aside. Now you've got a bunch of plastic here. I just tore into it like an animal, but a lot of the other users have pointed out that making a slit with a pocket knife right there would have been the right way to do it. I recommend that because this stuff is pretty messy. So this is what you're looking for here. This is the little actuator lever, and if I reach around the back and grab the handle, you'll see that's what actuates the opening. So we're gonna take our linkage part here, and we're gonna line it up, get a corner on the bottom of it, and there we go. Good snap sound to it. I'm going to slide that all the way down to where it touches that plastic piece, like that. And then we can turn this rod and pivot it out 90 degrees. And that's, you know, got a little bit of play in it, so it is adjustable. And that's what will actuate the up and down motion. And we're also going to reinforce that with some zip ties so that if this gets brittle over time and doesn't lose its strength. So just kind of feed those zip ties around and get it started like so. Cut that excess away. Once you've got this snapped on and about perpendicular to the door itself, it helps to rotate it out so that it protrudes out of the door just a little more. I'd say roll it out about 15 degrees or so that you've got a little more protrusion on the rod. So when you set this thing back in, it has a little somewhere to go as it sort of retracts back into the door. Just slightly, don't go too far or else it'll jam. All right, so at this point, if you are installing the handle, which again, I recommend, you're gonna want to keep this window open because you want to take a little bit of the strain off of this piston here while we remove this bracket. You're gonna take that 10mm again, keep that window open so it doesn't spring out on us and decompress, and we're gonna loosen this. It doesn't need to necessarily be completely removed, but we wanna add enough slack in here to get this thing pulled away so that we can get that carriage bolt in the back, right? And the carriage bolt has a square back to it to fit through the square hole. So if you can just get that thing out enough to get the bolt through, that's plenty. And then it'll rest like that. Go ahead and finger tighten this guy back down and grab that wrench and give it a little sunk. I'm lifting up on the window too to sort of take the pressure off of it while I tighten it down. Great. And then this will just dangle there and we'll deal with the rest when we put the panel back on. Now we're going to install the port and the button. So we've got the panel off here. It's turned on its side. This is down. This is up. The net is behind this portion here. There's a little bit of a rib here that runs along this edge, and you can see from mine that it's been contacting a little bit. So I think it might be wise to just take a little pocket knife here and shave a little of that down. Don't dig into the main meat of the panel, but just give it a little bit more room. So we'll take the port here. The open side goes down when connected to the door. So we're going to orient it like this. I'm going to come in from the front and just kind of gently bring those sides in. Now I'm not going to snap it into place just yet because once it's in there for good. And we're going to take the button and the seat goes in the down position. I'm going to put it in here and just kind of get one of the edges over the side of the little track and snap it in, and then you should be able to slide it up there and give it a push. And once it snaps in there, you'll feel that there's a little bit of play and it'll slide up and down those rails. That's what you want. You want a loose play. And then I'll flip this around. And then you see there's these little ramps in here that are going to snap this thing in. So we want to get this thing and just push it nice and even, straight in, and snap. And now you notice the button is still sliding on its tracks. I've got a little bit of damage here, but that's something that happened before I installed this. Okay, time to put the panel back on. So first things first, we got to make sure that this carriage bolt is passed through so that we can get to it after we've snapped all the clips back in. So make sure you line this thing up with the little hole and send it through, and just get your fingers on it on the outside like this so you can close it up. Okay, so here's the hard part. We're going to go ahead and connect this rod to this button. So you want to make sure that the left-right swing on the button, the rod, is in alignment. So you'll just have to kind of get up and over and get kind of a bird's eye view through the crack here and look at it. It's kind of hard to see on the camera, but you'll understand when you have it in front of you. So then if you put your finger against the button gently from the inside of the door, then you can kind of keep it at its upper position and guide it onto there. If you need a little up-down adjustment, you can use the external handle to line it up. Once it feels like it's lined up there, we'll go ahead and check its action. And so I've just temporarily popped the clips in here. I haven't put the bolt back on yet, but I just want to check the action. Looks like it's working pretty well. And to double check that, you use the outside handle to make sure that the linkages are all connected. See that they are. Feels like it's springing to return. If you feel a little binding, you want to just take the port area and just push very gently to kind of slide that rod linkage back just a little bit to take the pressure off of it. Don't push on the button really aggressively because you could pop it off its tracks and then you'd have to remove the whole thing and realign it. So if you've got that thing lined up and it seems like it's working all right, let's pop all these clips back into place. And don't forget these little guys that were on the top here, and snap those back in. Still got that bolt hanging out. All right, let's put this handle in here. So take the handle, make sure that the plastic wedge is on the inside, and you just want to kind of feed it through. Do that thing, get a good hold of that bolt. Put your washer on. Put Put your nut on. Now remember that little square shape to the rear of the carriage bolt should keep it from spinning on the interior. So we'll take our 1/2 inch socket and crank her down. And that's it. And then take the color strap of your choice and feed it in from the with the long loop on the underside. You can do this, of course, before you place it on here. Mine's a little dirty because I've had it on there for some time. But there you go. Now you're able to clip on some other webbing if you need a longer pull from the interior. We'll put that 10 mil back in the other corner, so get that lined up and crank it down snug. Snap our little port back in. Now we'll just check and make sure everything's working all right and close the door here. Good seal. Outer handle's still working. And then we'll try the inner handle. Sounds good. All right, and that's it. Quick safety note. Please, please, please do not let children ride unsupervised and unseatbelted in the cargo area. They could depress the button and open the door at speed. Although you do have the ability to lock the rear door from your lock rocker on the driver's side door, still, let's just keep it safe and legal. Thanks to Slacticus for the idea to simplify this install a little bit and redesign it. I think you guys will all appreciate that a bunch moving forward. And thanks to all the forum members and all of the users that have given me feedback. And please keep it coming. It really helps me to learn this process. All right, well, happy trails. Get out there.